Hey guys, today I'm going to be unboxing the Master Grade ReZel Type C Defensor A plus B units. I know other people probably have different ways of pronouncing ReZel. I've just always said ReZel. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I say it. Sorry, you guys can correct that in the comments if you want. Anyway, so this kit, yeah, this is not a new kit. This kit actually is from 2013, but this has been one that I've wanted to check out for a long time just because it's a really awesome design. It's a pretty big Master Grade as well. It comes with some pretty cool option parts for the backpack. The A and B unit is the basically just two different options, but they're two really big options. You can either choose between these really huge cannons or these really huge missile pods. So before I get any farther into it, the reason I got this kit is because I got this from Samurai Buyer. Now I know some other people have probably seen stuff about Samurai Buyer. It's an online shop. It's basically a proxy service for getting stuff from Japan. If you guys want to know about my experience with them, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll talk about that at the end. I just want to get through the unboxing first, and then if you're interested to know about my experience, you can watch that at the end. I haven't actually ever bought anything from the site, so I can't speak to what the experience is like from just buying from the site, and I haven't really heard a whole lot about that. But I have heard from, I've just seen on YouTube, other people who have gotten stuff from them, like sponsored stuff from them, free stuff from them basically, for promoting the website. A lot of people have had similar experiences that I have, so the experience of just dealing with them, or dealing with the one guy, I guess, was interesting, not great, I will say, but again, I don't know about the experience of just buying from the shop. So if you guys have any experience about buying from the shop, leave your thoughts down below. And again, I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Let's just get into the unboxing. So really cool box art here on the front. You can see it's a very cool design. I really like the design of the ReZel, except for the shoulders. The front of the shoulders, I don't really like that kind of circular part on there. I talked about that before when I reviewed the HG, not the version of this, but the ReZel, I think it was command type something. Anyway, on the top and the bottom of the box, it's just the same thing that's on the front. Alright, going on to the one side, you can see here is showing the Defensor A unit, which is these huge missile pods there on the backpack. So those all open up like that. It also has these really big hyper beam sabers, so it'd be similar to like the Double Zeta Gundam. So it's got those on there as well. You can attach that into the beam rifle as well if you want. And then here's just showing you the A and B units just side by side, those parts that you'll have the option of changing between. And then here's the Defensor B unit, which is the really huge cannon. So in this case, you don't have the connection for the hyper beam saber, because that is where like the articulated arm goes for moving these cannon up over the shoulder. It also has these big kind of shield cannons sort of things that are attached there onto the side. It looks like those can maybe be attached onto the arm as well. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll see. As the Mega Beam Launcher is what that's called. And down here it has the pilot figures standing and seated. They're just kind of generic pilot figures there in 1/100 scale. This isn't an ace unit or anything, so there's not like really any special pilot for it. And then here's just showing some more of the forms. It does transform, of course, as well. I'll show you guys that in the review. It's a pretty cool looking transformed kit. It doesn't really look like it's a folded up mobile suit. It does kind of look a mess. It doesn't really look like a very aerodynamic like flying ship, but it doesn't look like it's just a mobile suit laying down, so that's pretty cool. It does have here a few images just showing off the gimmicks of the transformation, the shoulder, the head folding down, so you can kind of see it transitioning the A and B type there, and then the back side of that once it's transformed. And then here's just showing a little bit about the inner frame, it being a Master Grade. Of course it is going to have some inner frame there, and then here is what it looks like, just completely unpainted, just built straight out of the box and stickered up, it looks like. And then here a little bit about the MSV markings, so you can choose which markings you want to use based on whether you want it to be like an MSV version, I guess. So, and the list price for this, 6,500 yen, so it's not a cheap kit, but as you can see, it's a really big box, and you do get a lot of plastic in there. So opening that up, here we can see, got some really nice colors too, by the way. I really like the colors of this kit, that tan and orange. It's a very nice color scheme. There's those really big beam saber effect parts. Those look to be the perfect grade ones from the year 2000. So I believe those are the same ones that actually do come with the Double Zeta Gundam. Here we have some stickers, looks like not a whole lot. Some marking stickers, a few dry transfer decals, We'll get to looking at all of this more closely in a minute. A bunch of clear yellow parts. Some plain white is very bright white compared to everything the rest of this, which is kind of very muted. Whole bunch of tan, whole bunch of inner frame, whole bunch of some black parts there for the mega cannons. And finally, down here, once we get to the bottom, you can find the manual. This is a pretty big manual. It's quite thick, 36, 37 pages. It's a pretty big one. So of course this is going to have to go through building the whole mobile suit, the 2 different optional backpacks, and then going through the transformation and all that. So there's a lot of information they need to put into this. So there's just showing the 2 different types that you can build there. On the inside, got some information all in Japanese, unfortunately, about the story. And then just showing some more photographs of the painted kit. And then just showing you the different parts. So it's identifying that. Again, if you can read katakana, then you can sort out what pretty much all of that is. And then here, getting into the runners. So this is, of course, I believe the 3rd version of the Master Grade ReZel to come out from Gundam Unicorn. There was just the regular one and the Commander type, and then this one. So the previous ones are actually pretty cool as well. I never got those just because I think probably the biggest reason was the color. That dark blue color is just not really attractive to me. Of course, painted in a different color could solve that very easily, but because this is the 3rd version, we do have some X's here, some parts that will not be used. I'm guessing those are probably because those were used with the different versions. So just going through the runners, it's going all the way to runner T, and then the polycaps, not using most of those, and then the beam saber effect parts. There, interestingly, oh there we go, I couldn't see, yeah, both beam saber effect parts, the really big ones and just the normal sized ones. So just going through the construction, I won't go through all of this and show you guys every single page. Like I said, it is a very long manual, so it's just going from head, which is actually quite simple there, then to the body unit, arms, legs, see, legs, then finally onto the backpack, and you kind of just building probably the main part of the backpack first, but then we get to the center pages where we do have our color fold-out pages here. Again, just showing some CG art there, painting guide all in Japanese, but again, if you can read katakana, you can sort that out. Painting guide for the pilot figure, the 1 step there, just doing some panel lining, and then some more photos of the backs. That's kind of like the main gimmick of this kit, right? And then just some more photos. All right, continuing on with the backpack, building the different option parts, equipping those onto just the regular beam rifle, regular weapons here, just the small little shield, beam rifle, beam saber handles, and then swapping the parts as you like, and then onto the transformation. So I think it's going to be a little bit complicated. Even the HG was a little bit complicated. The MG, don't know how it's going to do. I don't think I've ever seen a review of this from anyone else, so I don't really know. But there, once it's totally transformed, we're able to pop that onto an action base, and then there is a look at all of the markings for this. Alright, let's get to look at the runners. Alright, so first up we do have one little screw. Not exactly sure where that's going in there, but as I've seen with most other Master Grades that I've built, screws, not really particularly always necessary, but not a big deal anyway, just screw that in there. Then stickers, we do have our foil stickers here. As you can see, it's pretty much all just for in cameras. So we have just a couple of regular like yellow ones there, and then all these silver ones are going to be going like behind the clear parts. So I probably won't actually, maybe, I don't know, I'll see, possibly use these in the review. I might want to just keep those for once the kit's actually painted, because these, they have like these really shiny mirror ones that go behind clear parts. They usually work really, really well. So I wouldn't want to damage these, but I don't know, we'll see. We do have some regular just marking stickers here, just some different numbers you can choose from, and then a whole bunch of generic marking stickers. There's some of the MSV ones down there, EFSF logos, transforming mobile suit logo there, and then a small sheet of dry transfer decals. Kind of small, but it's actually pretty good compared to most dry transfer decals. It's usually just a few and not really all that much, but these are some pretty nice markings. Not really a big fan of dry transfer decals. I prefer water slides, but these actually do look quite nice. I'm sure I'll probably end up using these, or at least some of the larger logos there. Then we've got our beam saber effect parts, both molded in clear pink. These are the SB1, the ones that we kind of just normally get with most 100 scale kits. But these are the Saber 3. These are, again, I'm pretty sure are from the Perfect Grade Gundam, so these would be actually 1/60 scale, but they do come with a couple of Master Grade kits. And then we have PC122 for our polycaps here, molded in standard gray, but again, if you saw in the manual, we're not going to be using a lot of these, so you'll have a lot of those left over. Okay, here, so for runner A, this is a 4-color runner, one tiny little yellow part there, a couple of gray parts, some orange parts there, and then some gray. Actually, that's the only orange, so although when you look at the kit as a whole, you can actually see the orange quite clearly, but when you look at the parts, the orange is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orange parts, and that's all. But they do draw your attention really well once the kit is actually all together, and the rest of this is just that kind of light beige color. Really love the colors, again, for this. This runner is not new for this kit. This is from 2010. Remember, this kit came out in 2013. This runner is from 2010 from the original ReZel. I guess going by the Japanese pronunciation, it should be ReZel, but yeah. Runner B here is those nice clear parts, really nice kind of yellowish orange color here for these clear parts, and a lot of them for all the different cameras and everything, so really like this. This is quite nice. Runner C here, some of the larger beige armor parts for looks like the shoulders and the legs. Again, here you can see the front of the shoulders and the back of the shoulders. I talked about this when I reviewed the HG kit a while ago, is that I actually kind of prefer the shoulders reversed, so that this is actually the front and that's the back. I'm not sure if I'll still be able to do that with the Master Grade, but I'm going to try because I really like the look of this and not so much the look of this. Runner D here, still in that same color, still looks like mostly parts for the legs, I believe. Maybe a couple parts, maybe that's like for the upper arm there actually. But we do have 2 of this D runner. Then runner E, just a couple more parts here, still all just from the original ReZel kit, so nothing new in this case, but there is just those 2 parts there on runner E. Runner F here, just in straight white. I'm pretty sure this is completely white. This might actually have a tiny, tiny dash of purple in it. I'd have to look back at the manual, but here we just have, yeah, some vent parts, accent part for the front of the head, pilot figures here as well, seated and standing. Standing pilot figure does have a little base on him, so he'll be able to stand up perfectly well. Runner G here, starting to get into some of the gray parts for the inner frame. So we have our pilot cockpit seat there, some parts for the shoulders, some parts for the back of the legs. Love all the tubing that's on the back of the legs as well. Just really, really cool design. The runner H here is just all the parts for the regular beam rifle. So this runner is actually for the ReZel as well as the Delta Plus. So if you have the Master Grade Delta Plus, it's the exact same rifle for that kit here, just in a pretty standard gray color. Alright, so runner I is now getting into the main parts of the inner frame here, and most of the inner frame is going to be made of ABS plastic. So from now, the next few runners are going to be all just regular gray ABS. So nice details there. Not going to be the most detailed inner frame as it is a transforming kit, and they kind of have to worry more about making the transformation work well instead of making the frame look pretty. But there are some pretty cool details there, especially you can see here, which would be behind the visor in the head. You can see some nice details there for kind of camera sensor there behind the visor. Runner J is more gray ABS with just some more parts for the frame. It looks like mostly for like the legs, maybe a torso section, maybe shoulders or something there. And then runner K, again, more gray ABS. So this one we do have two of this K runner, so this is probably mostly frame parts for the arms and legs. Now skipping ahead a little bit to runner O, so this is the first runner that is specifically for this kit as it's marked there. Type C, Defensor A, B unit. So these are going to be mostly parts for the backpack. As you can see, large parts there for the huge cannons, and they're very big. And this kit is going to be ending up being larger than I expected, which is cool. I love that. That's one thing I love about this era of mobile suits, is they were getting big, which is nice. So we do have two of these, of course, for the two cannons. Runner P is back to that beige color, so we just got some large parts for the backpack again here as well, and then we do have two of this P runner. And then runner Q is the last of our beige colored parts, just more parts here for the backpacks. But then we're back to gray ABS here for runner R. This is going to be inner frame parts for in the backpack. We do have two of this R runner here. You can see all of those missiles all molded onto these parts here, so painting those will be in ABS. If that matters to you guys, ABS does react a little bit differently from regular polystyrene, so just keep that in mind for painting these. And then runner S, again, more gray ABS, and this is just, again, more parts for the backpack. One thing on here, it has this stand. I hadn't noticed that it actually has that. I didn't notice that in the manual or on the outside of the box or anything, but I'm guessing what that is for is just for making a stand because it's very back heavy. I think it's probably like the Hainu Verka that had that extra stand for the back. Unfortunately, this one is just gray instead of that nice clear one that we have with that kit, but it's still nice to have that. And finally, runner T, it's just back to that white parts for some parts for the backpack, the huge beam saber handles there, as well as like the doors for the missile pods, a couple more vent accent parts and pipes and things like that. So we got 2 of this T runner, and that is it for the runners. Alright, so that is going to do it for this already rather lengthy unboxing. Of course, I just want to say a big thank you to Samurai Buyer for sending me this kit to share with you guys, to check out, to enjoy, because again, it is a kit that I have been wanting for a while. So I actually, on my last trip to Japan, I saw one for really cheap. I saw a secondhand one for 4,500 yen, which is like $40. It's just awesome, and I really regret that I didn't buy it. I passed it up at the time, then I went back for it later, and the shop was closed anyway. I wasn't able to get it. Regrets, but that's why you have to impulse buy sometimes, right? But anyway, I got it now, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. I'll have the review coming up for you guys next. So if you do want to hear about my experience with Samurai Buyer, then stay tuned. If you just wanted to check out the unboxing, then I'll see you guys next time. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Now, let me tell you a story. Okay, so over a year ago, I got a message from Misaki there at Samurai Buyer. As far as I know, I think he's maybe the owner, or at least he's the person that's in charge with communicating with people for promotion, because I know that's who other content creators have dealt with in the past, and he's kind of very well known. He said that they started getting Bandai model kits, and he wanted to send me something to help promote their site. And I said, sure. At the time, they didn't really have too many options on their site, so of the options that he had, there wasn't really too much really that I wanted to take a look at. He said I could just send him the link to just whatever I wanted. So I thought at the time of what kind of kit that I really wanted. At the time, I was really wanting that P Bandai Master Grade Gelgoog cannon that I had missed before. And I know, like, in Japan, he could probably get one. So I told him that that was the kit that I wanted. And he asked me for a link for the kit. I just found one on Japanese Amazon. Kind of stupidly, I found one that was like really way overpriced. It was priced like $400 or something. I didn't even look at the price. I just figured, you know, just send it at least so he knows the kit, which kit I'm talking about, and then he could, you know, find it, I'm sure, for cheaper than like $400. So yeah, I just sent him that, and he said, oh no, it's way too expensive, which obviously that one was too expensive, but I'm sure you can find it for cheaper anyway. But so I said, okay, then how about just the regular Master Grade Gelgoog kit, the Master Grade Gelgoog 2.0 kit. Just how about that one? And he said, oh, please send me a link for the kit. So I said, okay, so I found, I think it was just like the US Amazon link for that. I, for whatever reason, I couldn't find it on the Japanese Amazon page or something. Anyway, sent him the link for it, and then he just kind of never got back to me. And then he finally got back to me a little bit later. And then he said, oh, is this one you want? And he sent me, I think it was like the Amazon, Japanese Amazon link for the kits. And I said, yeah, that's the one. And then I never heard from him for a while. Sent him an email maybe a few weeks or a month later. Said, you know, what's going on? And just never heard from him again until about a month ago. And then he got in touch with me finally again and said, hey, sorry about the wait. Are you still interested in working with us? I said, I don't know, kind of what do you have in mind, because at that time I have both of those Gelgoog kits now, and so I don't really know. But he just said, yeah, just choose a kit, whatever you want. And so I was like, no, okay. Didn't really know what was going to work out, but so I told him this kit, and again he asked me for a link for the kit, so gave him a link for the kit, and then finally I guess he got one and just sent it to me. So an interesting experience of just dealing with them from my perspective as a content creator that they were reaching out to help promote their site. But that's a very unique experience. I don't know what the buying experience is with the site, so I can't really say that I recommend the site for you guys to shop, just to be honest with you guys, because I don't know what that experience is like. As far as I know, I'm sure the shopping experience on the site is fine, and I know they have a lot of Japanese stuff, and I know if you guys are interested in buying like other different kinds of Japanese stuff, you can probably find some stuff on there. So check out the site if you want. The link is down below. Of course, you can check that out, but that is the explanation of my interesting experience with dealing with Samurai Buyer. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time.